So today I'm going to be setting up another little server. I have recently acquired another one of these AM3 boards, which might seem a little bit odd, but I happen to have an older AM3 CPU lying around right here. I think I have another one too. I just happen to have a stack of these. You can unlock these to quad cores, overclock them pretty hardcore. And they support PCIe pass-through, which is what I wanted to use this mainly for, which is GPUs. Using it for that. So we got a board here. That's used, I don't really care though. Open it up. And let's try to do this with one hand. And no, I can't. I'm gonna do this off camera. And this board might seem a bit weird for a server, but I'm looking for these PCIe slots because I want to put a full-size GPU here, and I then might be able to put a single slot one or a RAID card here, and then my bootable GPU here. Which it's hard to find motherboards that do this well, and it supports PCIe pass-through. People have tested it, they say it works. For the testing components, I think, yeah, here I go. I have a 5450 as the boot GPU. I have a few more ones that I'll use later for testing. I have 4 gigs of RAM for now. I'm going to put some more in. I have a heatsink. I have an Athlon 2 X2. I think this is like a 245 low power, but I have another tri-core that I know unlocks just fine. And yeah, now it's time to getting this test bench ready. So let's get this test bench all hooked up. Oh yeah, I have to get a monitor too. I wish every system had this IMPI thing. That'd be awesome. And we're ready for the first power on. Power switch is flicked on. Doesn't do anything, but it shouldn't. I'm gonna short out the pins to turn it on. After I find out which are which. I think it's these two. There it goes. Yep, it's those two. You can see fans are spinning. I don't know if it's turning on and off or what. And we have a boot screen. BIOS has been reset. I'm gonna just load optimized defaults. Why is it in the Ubuntu screen? I know I have Pixie on the network, but it wouldn't. Unless it's just a gigabyte screen. I'm gonna boot it off the network and install Ubuntu. What the heck is it booting off of? Apparently I have Ubuntu on this drive. Okay. Are you not detecting my mouse? That's annoying. Well, I'm gonna mess around with this system a little bit and show you around, and then I'm gonna install CentOS and put it in its final deployment. So I've gone and configured it a little bit more since last time, and here's a little bit more of the setup. So here it is. I swapped out the CPU with the tri-core once I found that this guy can be unlocked, but I'll do a separate video on trying to overclock the most I can out of it. See, I have a bit more graphics cards. I also have the Quadro and another GPU in here for fun. And I finished, and I got CentOS 7 on. So what that means is it's sitting here now in my virtualization pool. So I can run VMs on it, and I can do whatever I want. So if I load up this VM, which is going to run on the 7850, I can give it the GPU, and it would do that. So I'm going to do a little bit of a test. I'll do a test between bare metal performance and that. And overall, it's a cute little VM system I have running. Oh, this network card, that was a huge pain in the butt to set up. I had to hunt pretty far and wide on the internet to try to get it to work on CentOS. You can. It's just finicky. This board just likes being a little finicky with Linux. But once you find a working driver, it will work perfectly fine in Linux. You just have to find the right RPM package with CentOS. Just 16 gigs of RAM now, so a little bit more juice in that department. There's 2 GPUs, which I'm using for pass-through. One of which is going to be passed through to a Windows VM. Yeah, Windows VM, and the other one, I think I'm going to be using this guy for a little bit of CUDA development. I'm going to try to learn how to program CUDA a bit better, and I want to do it on Linux. Yeah, so that's about it. It's booting off of a little SSD. I'm going to use that for caching. I'm going to probably add these drives to it to add to that Musafast cluster. Yeah, host devices. So here you can see, once I focused it, I think I need a camera's better out of focus. I can add a device. And since this device is attached to Brandon Server 4, I can go hunt down the Radeon. Sometimes it's a bit of hunting here. You have to find a Where is it? Should be in there. I have no idea where it is. It's not helping. Here's it. I'm looking. Okay, normally you have to add this device, which is 21, and the other one, which is the audio device. They always have two for whatever reason, except for old ones and low-end ones. And then you hit OK, and then you start it up. And in Linux, you have to install drivers. I can't seem to get it to work on the external monitors in Linux, though, just because it always wants to use that QXL video device. In Windows, though, you just have to install the AMD drivers. So I'm going to go through that process now. Let's get this thing fired up. And it should, if I'm right, be booting right now. It's not going to use that monitor because it doesn't have the drivers. So let me get into remote desktop. This will take a minute. So well, after a lot of work and annoying problems, it works fine in Windows 10. It doesn't want to work in 7 because of how the GPU drivers work. You can't install them from AMD's website. You have to use the Windows Update ones because they crash when they look and detect for something. I don't know why on this system. It's worked fine on other ones. I don't know. Probably some weird PCI bug that sends errors every time it tries to access certain parts of the system. Good thing it isn't crashing anything else. But it works fine in Windows 10. It will be a little more annoying when I try to compare host and guest performance, but who cares? You know, it's fine. There's a VM. If you can see, we can open up Task Manager. We get all 3 cores. I'll do a quick benchmark to show you the difference between it and the... It says it's a generic Opteron, which it's not, but who cares? I'll do a quick benchmark once I get booted in to show you the difference between this here and the hardware host. You know, but let's just fire up a few quick tests. I'll do these all off camera and show you the results and compare it to the host. But really, it's working fine. The only annoying thing is you can't do the normal driver installs in 7, 8, and 10. But other than that, it's a perfectly competent little system. It's a nice, fun little thing to use and mess around with. I'm going to use it for a lot more GPU compute stuff in the future. So this is just a little bit of experimentation right here. I'll just get a quick few numbers, though, to show you some stuff, though. So the system's been running for quite some time now. It's been running LuxSmoke at max usage, so I get to see a sense of what temperatures are running at. This isn't feel or temperature or vision, but it's definitely making a bit of heat. I don't know how warm the CPU is. CPU doesn't get that warm on here, especially. Yeah, so it's running LuxSmoke. I also ran a few benchmark tests to compare the VMs versus the VMs versus just running it on metal. So we can see where's temperatures. 53 and 74 on both of those different GPUs respectively. Yeah, I'm gonna work on doing overclocking in another video later on, but that's a later video. Let's go look at the comparison now. So here, I ran 4 different benchmark tests and did a quick comparison. So yeah, let's make this bigger. Top section is VM stuff. So VMs, did I scroll? Yeah, okay, so this is all VMs. This is all, let's add some more spaces in. Okay, so essentially this here is running it in a VM right here at the top. So you can see user benchmark, I don't know, it got 34 and 34 on both. We got 36 on both running on metal. I don't know how that's weighted, but slight difference. Passmark, I got 1103 versus 1600. That's actually a pretty big jump. That's a lot bigger than I hoped or would hope for. It was running Windows 10 in the VM and Windows 7 on metal, but 10 should be faster. Blender, we got 20 minutes on metal. We got 20 minutes, actually slightly faster, probably due to optimizations. Cinebench, we got 189 versus 145. It's still not perfect, but we can tell we're getting remotely similar results. Definitely not as good as perfect, but it's reasonable. So, looks like I have another node in the cluster. Gonna get to work on building a little bit better. Maybe I'm gonna put a case in it. Probably gonna put it in a rack mount case one day. Other than that, looks like a reasonable system. Thanks for watching, and I'll do more updates about the overclocking and stuff like this later. Bye.